Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It's Garlaanx here bringing you a new Neverwinter video. And today, it's a little spicy video. As the title suggests, we're going to talk about Module 31 as a whole. Essentially, Mod 31 was horrible. It was terrible. It really was. So I don't know where we actually are as far as this company takeover goes, or transfer, whatever you want to call it. I'm not sure if this was all Cryptic Studios' decision-making here. Remember, they lost a lot of employees to this. And Deca Games has a lot of their employees now working on the game. So I'm not exactly sure where we're at, if that is 100% Deca Games controlling Neverwinter at this point. We don't know that. All that stuff is behind closed doors, right? The only public information we knew is that they were bought out. Deca Games now owns, the Neverwinter rights. But we don't know where everything is as far as that transfer. All of this happened over a year ago. I'm sure Deca Games is probably fully in charge at this point. And I only say that just because of the sells we've had in the Zen market, some of the questionable decision making that we've seen in game. I imagine Deca Games is in charge. Everything is clearly revenue based. If you watched my video on the Protector's Jubilee, one of the biggest events every player looked forward to every year. It's the anniversary of the game, essentially. This was the 12-year anniversary, and they ended up putting sort of like a battle pass thing in here. I don't even know if it's in here anymore, is it? Did they take it out? I have no idea. It looks like they actually took it out, so you can't even look at it anymore. That's upsetting. I thought it was going to be in here forever, unless I just don't see it. No, because it was called Celebration or something. So they actually took it out of the list. You can't even look at it anymore. But yeah, it was basically you had to open up lockboxes. Well, to get lockboxes, you have to have, enchanted keys, and to get X amount of enchanted keys, you have to buy those. It was very disappointing, to say the least. Like I said, if you didn't watch my video on the Protector's Jubilee this year, go ahead and watch that video. It's poop. It's pook-hockey. But not to get off track here. Module 31 was horrible. We haven't had a bad module like this since Mod 15. Module 15 was whatever the hell that shit was called. I can't even remember what it was called. It's not even a campaign anymore. It's an adventure, right? Acquisitions Incorporated. This used to be a campaign. All of us old-time veteran players know that. I mean, most of these adventures were actually all campaigns at one point. Actual campaigns. But Acquisitions Incorporated was horrible. Horrible campaign. Module 15 is what it was. And we really haven't had an actual bad module since Mod 15. I'll admit that. There's been some questionable ones. 100%. There's been questionable ones, right? Some of these weren't the best. Okay? Some of these past campaigns were not the best. But they weren't horrible. They were tolerable. Okay? You got on, you grinded your daily shit, you got done. You got your weeklies done, right? Module 31 took us back to just 100% pure grinding. One of the major complaints was the accumulation of currency. A lot of players were saying, hey, I have 6 different tunes I got to take through this campaign. I'm not going to do it. I'm simply not going to do it. So, they actually did, respond to that. Now, when I say Mod 31 was horrible, I'm talking about the mechanics, the mechanical side of the module. I'm not talking about the lore. I'm not talking about the storyline. I don't care about any of that. For all I know, Module 31 was a phenomenal storyline. I have no idea. I never read anything. I've never read anything in this game. I don't play this game for the storyline. Nova, long-time Neverwinter player, long-time Neverwinter veteran. Nova loves the lore. He loves the storytelling. He loves the lore of the game. And that's fine. That's his cup of tea. It's not my cup of tea. I'm talking strictly mechanical nonsense. So, for instance, as I mentioned, one of the biggest complaints was the currency. So, we had weekly quests, right? Weekly quests only awarded 10 weekly currency. You need 100, right? It's been that way for, I don't know, the past 20 modules. You need 100 currency per week to finish that week, right? The weeklies were only rewarding 10. The tooltips actually still say that. The tooltips still say 10 Thayan Hex coin. Most people were done with this mod. I actually skipped a week because it was so bad. I'm going to finish it right now as I'm filming this video. I skipped a week. Most people are already done with the module, right? But you can see at the very top, the weekly haul. Everybody should be familiar with that. It's 100 currency. You need 100 currency. Well, there wasn't enough weekly quests for 100 currency when you're only getting 10 each. 10 per weekly turn-in. There's only, I think, 5 weeklies. So you're only getting 50. So every week, you had to do daily quests to finish your campaign for the week. No one wants to do that. Okay? No player right now in the current iteration of this game wants to do that. You have to understand, I'm specifically speaking to Deca Games here, if anyone from Deca Games actually watches this video. This is a 12-year-old game, guys. This is not some new shiny object. Most of your player base is old players. All of the new players that come into your game, they're not staying. Okay? You might hook 5 players out of 100 players that you get. Okay, you're not attracting a new crowd. You're not doing anything that is going to revitalize this game. That's just not going to happen. You have to look at those demographics and realize going forward how to approach the game. Again, this game is 12 years old now. 12 years. I've been playing for a very long time. I've been making content for this game over a decade. Over a decade. So, I don't know whose decision it was for all the mechanics of Mod 31. Now, if we flip over, like I said, they did redeem themselves. They listened to the player base. If we look at the patch notes, these patch notes are from, I don't know, June something. June 20, yeah, right here, sorry. June 24th. I'm filming this video a little late because I wanted to do it at the end of the module. So here we are at the end of Mod 31. But back on June 24th, which was already, I don't know, 6 weeks in, 7 weeks in, they did remedy the situation. If you scroll down in the campaign notes here, or the patch notes, campaign currency change. So they did change the weeklies from 10 to 25, which has been standard. That's what we've had for the past 10 modules or so, is weekly quests gave 25 currency. Most of the campaigns had more weekly quests than you would have to do, and you could pick and choose what weekly quest you want to do. Neverwinter is, again, speaking to Deca Games, if anyone watches, Neverwinter is a casual game. No one gets on this game and grinds all week, every day, all week. That doesn't happen anymore. That's a thing of the way, way past, okay? No one does that. People get on maybe once a day, get their key, do a couple daily things, and then they're moving on to another game. For the campaigns, they get on, they do their weeklies all in one day, and that campaign is done for the week. That's it. Simple as that. They're not sitting on here grinding dungeons. Dungeons have been abysmal for the past 5 years or more. There's no loot to be gained. There's no money. There's no astral diamonds to be made in Neverwinter currently in its iteration. There's nothing to generate revenue as far as a player goes. So no one's on here out grinding dungeons, 10 hours a day. Those days are long gone. Now, if Deca Games wants to try to remedy that situation, then they can come talk to me and we can have a sit down and I can fix this game. As I've told Cryptic Studios, for the past 10 years, they should have hired me a long time ago, either as a freelance, a third-party contract, or an actual employee. And this game would survive another 30 years. This would be a long-term game. Like, I know what I'm doing. I've said it a million times on this channel, but Cryptic Studios hates my guts, and, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're a new viewer to this channel, just go watch my archive of Neverwinter videos. It's been a long and bumpy ride for the past 12 years, folks. So, again, they did remedy the situation. So if Deca Games did this, good for Deca Games. That's a very positive note that I will praise you for. You actually listened to the player base, which Cryptic Studios never did. You listened to the player base, and you fixed the mistake. Because I don't know why this was set to 10 currency per weekly quest in the first place. So they remedied the situation. Now, even though the tooltips, like I said, if we look at the tooltips, it still says 10, but it's not. They fixed it when the patch went live. So if we complete this, you look on the right hand of your screen, I'm going to get those 25 Thayan Hex coins, right? Problem solved. We're going to finish mine, turn this in, and we should get... Did we not get the achievement? Is there no achievement? Hello? Do I have to Oh, I did. Yeah, I finished it, right? Yeah, 1,000. So I should be finished. There was no achievement for finishing the campaign? That's weird. There always usually is. Anyway, we'll go ahead and collect this. Maybe it'll finish now. Oh, okay, there it is. I had to collect it. Red Harvest, complete the Red Harvest campaign. Okay, there's my achievement. Whoop-de-freaking-do. Whatever. Give me my AD. Give me that 100k AD. Whatever. So that was shitty mechanic number one. Now, they did remedy that, but like I said, the problem is the daily quests are horrible. They are so long and drawn out. Some of them are very easy. Red Ambush for an existence. That's easy. You just go kill Thay Assassins. Very, very easy. But like, there's a lot of them that are not good. That they're just drawn out. Like, daily quests shouldn't take me, 20 minutes to do. Right? Displacer Beasts, they're easy, but there's just a lot. I think you have to kill like 30 of them. I'm not accepting this quest, but I'm pretty sure you have to kill like 30 of them or something. It's too much. It's too much for a daily. Cut that in half. 15. Kill 15. Alright? And collect their parts. These quests were just way overdrawn for the current iteration of the game. These quests would have been fine 5 years ago when you still had a huge player base. Alright? Everybody's in the game. Everybody's grinding. You party up with your guild. You party up with your friends. You knock them all out. You grind. That's fine. 12 years into the game? Absolutely not. This is one, for example, here. These wanted posters are a pain in the dick. Running around the entire map, trying to find the wanted posters, pain in the dick. Nobody wants to do it. Nobody wants to do that. Okay? Alright, mechanical fault number 2, in my opinion, is the heroics. None of the heroics are soloable. Okay, I lied. 95% of them are not soloable. This one, actually, you can probably solo this if you're an endgame character in the blood. There's one down here with the wisps. You could probably solo the wisp one. But most of these other ones are horrendous. This one for Red and Dead, horrible heroic encounter. There are mechanics for every one of these heroics. For instance, for this one, you have to lead the peasants to the other side, and if they get caught in the crossfire, they turn into, bad guys. It's just a cluster. It's a cluster. And having new players that don't know what the hell they're doing try to do this stuff, it's horrible, okay? Not for a 12-year game. There's one over here. I don't know the names offhand, but there's one right here. It has just ridiculous mechanics. There's like 3 phases of this heroic, and on the last phase, if you don't do the mechanics, it one-shots everyone there and you fell the heroic. What are we talking about? This is a 12-year-old game. Like, I don't want to see... It's awesome. I actually praise the mechanics. If this was 5 years ago and there was, 33 zones. How many instances are there right now? There's 7. And this is peak time right now. It's currently 4 p.m. on a Monday. People are getting home from work right now. There is 7 instances on Xbox right now. And this is just becoming peak time. About 4 p.m. to about 10 p.m. You're looking at peak hours. And there's 7 instances. Now keep in mind, this campaign ended technically last week. I said I was like a week behind because I literally skipped a week because there was a week where I was just like, I'm not doing any of this. I'm not doing it. But But still, this is the newest campaign, and you're just coming into peak hours, and you have 7 instances on Xbox. It's a 12-year-old game, guys. 12-year-old game. I don't want to see mechanics that are just a Trow. This is a little mini Trow right here. There's 3 mechanics, and then if you don't do the mechanics, the boss just one-shots everyone there, and you fail it anyway. It's a complete waste of time. This one has 3 bosses at the end. Once you clear all the waves of the enemies, you have to protect the light. 3 bosses spawn at the end. Try to get a bunch of newbies together that are very undergeared, that don't know what the hell they're doing, to try to kill 3 bosses at the end of this. Okay? It's not happening. Again, if this was 5 years ago, I would have probably loved this. I mean, heroics that actually have mechanics that you have to do. Like, this one is probably soloable. You have to rescue the prisoners around, and then 2 bosses spawn. Depending on your class and how geared you are, Stone of Healths, Necromancer, Warlock can self-heal himself. I could probably solo this if I really, really tried and sweat my ass off. I shouldn't have to sweat my ass off. Not in a 12-year-old game. Now, I won't say anything on the Trow itself, because I haven't done it. I haven't done any of the actual dungeons in several mods at this point. All the way back to, I don't even know what the Mad Dragon, maybe? I'm guessing Mad Dragon. Maybe Imperial. I don't think I've done Imperial Citadel on Master. I think I've done it on the lesser versions. So you're looking at Imperial Citadel, Lair of the Mad Dragon, the Dread Sanctum. Then we go to the Trows. I haven't done Moon Dancer, the new one, Shackles of Divinity. I haven't done any of these. I have no interest. And all of the gear comes for that. I just don't care. I just don't care. But again, 12-year-old game, very limited player base. I barely meet the requirements for this. In a private party, it goes down. I'm at like 108,000 item level. But in a private party, it goes down by like 5k, so it would be 105. I'd be fine going into Master. But I'm just saying, I've never done it. I don't care. So I can't speak on the Trow. I've watched the videos on the Trow, and it honestly doesn't look that hard. Like, once you learn the mechanics of the Trow, you should be fine. If you're in an adequate group, obviously. So I can't speak on the Trow. Alright, fact number 3. Let's talk about the zone mechanic of the boss. The boss isn't up right now. The mini-boss. The Tremblay. The Tremblambe. He's actually not up. There's a weekly quest for him. What the hell's what's his name? I don't even remember his name. What's this idiot's name? What is it? Defiant? Oh, okay, it's the Temproloth. So the Temproloth is like the mini-boss. You guys should all be familiar with this, the Temproloth. Horrible mechanics, okay? First of all, you can't even attack him unless you use one of these bad boys, okay? The Shadowfell Cube. And the Shadowfell Cube only lasts X amount of time, so if you don't have multiple of these, you're not soloing it, okay? So to get the quest, you have to have a cube. Now, you can be in a group and use the cube, but even if you're in the group, you won't be able to do damage. Now, your quest should complete, but you won't be any damage. Someone actually just spawned it right now. There he is. He's down here. There he is. There he is. Let's see if we can run to him real quick. I'll talk while I run to him. But yeah, the mechanics are horrible. Now, you can buy these cubes with campaign currency right here. 40 campaign currency. That needs to be like 10. 10 currency for a cube. 40 is outrageous. All of this stuff is way overpriced, by the way. That's another thing I want to mention. Everything in this is overpriced as far as price points go. So we're going to go down here. Take a bunch of damage. There he is over there. So people are fighting him. Let's hurry up and get over there. So I'm not going to be able to do damage to him because I'm not going to use my cube. So there are people killing him. There he is. He's half health. I could sit here all day. Immune, immune, immune. You cannot attack him unless you pop one of these cubes. It's as simple as that. Alright? And like I said, I don't know if you would technically be able to solo him or not, because once you do pop the cube, it has a time frame on it. It doesn't last very long. And they actually buffed this guy. During one of the patches, they actually buffed him. They thought he was too easy. So he's actually been buffed. Like you can see, I'm not doing any damage whatsoever. This is ridiculous. Once the campaign is over and no one ever comes back to this zone, no one's ever going to be able to kill this guy. Because you're going to have to get either your friends to do it, because you're going to have a group of people to do it. So there you go. He's dead. I get nothing. Yippee skippy. Crap. That's crap. That's a horrible mechanic. There's no reason to have all of those mechanics. Now, there is a way to get these for free, right? Of course there is. If you don't want to buy these with campaign currency, which you shouldn't because 40 campaign currency is outrageous, you can get these for free, as many as you want, by doing the quest line. And that's this little guy right here. We've seen this mechanic before in previous mods. You kill X amount of mobs, the crystal there, the ruby, will get bigger and bigger and bigger, and you'll get once you pop it, you'll get Thay assassins to attack you. Again, a horrible mechanic. Why? Because the Thay assassins are way overpowered, okay? They will poop on your face. And if you die, you lose the quest and have to do it all over again. But wait, it gets better. You have to do 4 waves of it. 4 waves. So once you get your crystal maxed out, it'll start glowing, and you'll be eligible to spawn Thay assassins randomly. So you don't have to refill the crystal every time. So the first time you fill the crystal, you'll just keep killing random mobs, and a Thay assassin will spawn. Most players can kill that first one by themselves without any problem, right? They're hard, but they're not horrible. The second wave can spawn anywhere from 1 to 2. The third and fourth wave, excuse me, can actually spawn 3. So, horrible. Try killing 3 to 4 of them at once. You're not going to. There's very few classes that are endgame that can kill all 4 at once. So now you're required to put a group together, which people have done this whole mod. If you just look, and you're looking for that, then people will put groups together just for the Thay assassins. Now, why is this all important? Okay? It's important because the freaking companion gear drops from it. Which is just ridiculous. Ridiculous. There's no reason the companion gear couldn't randomly drop off the mini-bosses in the map. The companion gear only drops off of the mini-boss. 2600 item level. It is unbound. You can't sell this stuff. Good luck. The drop rate is horrible. I think I've killed 10 of those mini-bosses, which isn't a large amount, but 10, and I didn't get anything. So I just stopped. I was like, this is pointless. I'll just wait for, 2 mods down the road, and there'll be more upgraded companion gear. Everything in this game is replaceable as time goes on. I didn't even upgrade my companion gear from, when we had it last time, to be honest. I'm still currently using, 1800, and I think this was Sharandar stuff. There was better companion gear after Sharandar that I skipped as well. And now I'm going to end up skipping this module's companion gear. Now, I could buy it. I could. I have infinite money in this game. I have 14 billion AD. Billion with a B. I could buy this stuff. But why? Why would I spend? The prices are just outrageous. They're outrageous. Because there's nothing in the game worth money. And the very few things that are worth money are extremely expensive. So I would need, this necklace here. 3.5 million for one piece of gear. I would need this necklace, the ring, either another necklace, and then the sword knot. Sword knot's almost 4 million AD. You're talking about almost 12 to 15 million AD, as far as Xbox prices go, for me to buy 3 pieces of companion gear. Now, those are huge upgrades for me. 1800 item level to 2600 item level is a significant jump, but I'm not going to pay it. I don't care how rich I am. I have 14 billion AD, and I'm not going to pay it. I'm just not going to do it. I don't care. I will wait 2 modules down the road. Module 33 will probably have new companion gear again. And let's hope Deca Games takes their head out of their ass and makes it acquirable. because right now it's not acquirable. The mini-boss is stupid. The mechanics are stupid. No one's going to do that ever again. Now that this module is completed, no one's going to come to this map ever again. It's stupid. So I'm going to wrap this video up. That's just some quick things here that, you know, Mod 31 was not good. It really wasn't. It just really, mechanically speaking, it's one of the worst modules we've had actually in a long time. So again, speaking to Deca Games, if you guys are in charge now and you watch this video, heed my advice. You need to make some changes going forward in the next few modules. Because this is a 12-year-old game. This playstyle would have been great 5, 6, 7 years ago. That would have been amazing. That would have been amazing. Cryptic Studios failed to provide us with that. And maybe Cryptic Studios did come up with this, these mechanics of the map and everything. And maybe Cryptic Studios are to blame. And they should know better. They should know in a 12-year-old game that this isn't going to cut it. So, it is what it is, guys. That's all I got for you guys today. I just wanted to get this video out there. Module 31 was not good. Hopefully Module 32 is a little bit better at least. We'll see what happens. There was a lot of other stuff with the module that was bad too, but it is what it is. Everything's overpriced as far as all the campaign stores go. Like I said, the mechanics of the mini-boss, the way to acquire the gear, the heroic encounters, the weekly quest fiasco at least was remedied, so there's that. So people that are taking alternate characters through this campaign won't have to struggle. At least they can get on through their weeklies and get their characters through the campaign at least. So, again, that's all I've got for you folks today. If you have any questions, comments, and concerns, as always, go ahead and leave them below. Module 31, not very good, guys. Not very good, unfortunately. It just is what it is. Hopefully, Deca Games can make some adjustments here in the future. Alright, that's all I got for you. I'll see you guys real soon.